Hey there. So, if you're trying to find the right dog trainer in Orem, it can feel like a pretty big task. Well, in this explainer, we are going to walk through everything you need to know to find the absolute perfect professional for you and your dog.
Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with why training in Orem is kind of unique. Then we'll get into how to spot a great trainer, pick the right training format, and figure out the costs. We've also got a super handy checklist of questions to ask, and we'll finish up with some local rules and resources you'll definitely want to know about.
First up, training for Orem life. This is really all about setting your dog up to happily and confidently navigate our community. This is where good training really pays off, right? Think about it. You want to enjoy those calm walks past all the students near UVU, or have your dog greet people politely when you're at a pet-friendly spot in University Place. Good training prepares your dog for these exact kinds of real-world, local situations.
So how do you find the right person to help you do that? Let's talk about what makes a quality trainer. This part is going to give you the tools you need to really evaluate your options and make a choice you feel great about.
The number one thing to look for is a trainer who uses positive reinforcement. All this means is they use rewards, like treats, praise, or a favorite toy, to encourage the behaviors you want. It's a fantastic way to get results and build a really strong, trusting bond with your dog.
And on the other side of that coin, and this is a big one, you absolutely want to steer clear of any trainer who relies on intimidation, fear, or physical punishment. The modern, humane methods are just so much more effective for the long haul, and they make sure your dog feels safe and happy to learn with you.
Now, when you see a bunch of letters like these after a trainer's name, they're not just for show. They really do signal a trainer's commitment and their area of expertise. For example, a CPD-TKA is great for general skills. But if you're dealing with something more complex, like serious fear or aggression, you'd want to look for a specialist with a credential like CBCCKA.
All right, let's look at the different ways training can actually happen. This is all about figuring out which format is going to be the best fit for your dog, your goals, and of course, your lifestyle. So you have two really common options here. Group classes are fantastic for getting your dog used to other dogs and learning to focus with all those distractions around. But if you're dealing with problems that only happen at home, like say your dog bolts out the front door, the one-on-one attention you get in private lessons is just perfect. Now, if you need a little more help, there's day training where a pro works with your dog during the day and they come home to you at night. Then you have Board and Train, which is a totally immersive program where your dog stays with the trainer. This is usually the best option for really big behavior goals or when you just need a comprehensive reset.
Okay, let's get down to the practical side of things. Money. What should you actually plan to budget for dog training services here in Orem for 2026? Just to give you a quick benchmark, a single 1-hour private lesson in the Orem area is going to cost you about $125 on average. But of course, that price can change depending on the type of service.
This table gives you a much better look at the ranges. As you can see, a 6-week group class could be anywhere from $150 to $280, while a big Board and Train program is a much larger investment. And remember, a trainer's experience will definitely play into these prices, and some might have a travel fee too. And now for what might be the most useful part of this whole explainer, your trainer consultation checklist. These are the absolute must-ask questions for any trainer you're considering.
So you're on the phone or maybe meeting a trainer for the first time. What do you actually need to ask to feel confident that they're the right one for you? Let's get you prepared for that conversation.
These 6 questions are your foundation. You want to know their philosophy and their credentials, for sure. But it's just as important to ask how they'll tailor the training specifically to your dog and your goals. And trust me, asking about how they measure progress, the total cost, and their cancellation policy up front can save you a lot of headaches later.
Okay, let's wrap things up with some Orem dog ownership essentials. Knowing the local rules and what resources are out there is a huge part of being a great dog owner in our city.
So here are the key takeaways. In public, your dog needs to be on a leash that's 6 feet long or shorter. State law requires a rabies vaccine, and you'll need proof of that to get your dog's mandatory Utah County license. Also, good news for many owners, Orem has no breed-specific legislation.
Once your dog is learning all these new skills, you need places to practice. Nielsen's Grove and Sertoma Park are awesome for working on off-leash skills in a safe fenced area. And for practicing that loose-leash walking with real-world distractions, you can't beat the Bondeville Shoreline Trail or the Murdoch Canal Trail.
Finding the right trainer is really that first big step toward a happier, less stressful life with your dog. Just imagine enjoying that peaceful hike, having friends over without any drama, or just relaxing with your calm companion at home. We wish you the very best of luck in finding that perfect training partner to help you and your dog thrive together here in Orem.